Hey everyone, today I want to show you how I made a waterproof divider for a terrarium using acrylic sheets, black silicone, and spray foam. This is my first time trying this after watching a bunch of other YouTube videos on how to make backgrounds. It's a bit of a departure from the other videos I've seen on here, and that we're not making a background, but rather a true tank divider. So it really had to be 100% waterproof. I made a ton of mistakes and had to improvise a lot, but I left all of that in here because I wanted to show you how you can make an absolute mess of things, but still come out with something that works great. Okay, here we go. This is the aquarium we're replacing. It's for vampire crabs. They should have about 80% land and 20% water. You can see maybe that there's a little pond in here, but honestly it's a nightmare to keep up because you can't really see it, and it's absolute minimum size. So the water evaporates so quickly that it needs constant filling. I'm just really not happy with it, so I want a bigger tank with a truly luxurious water section for them. To make my acrylic divider, I got several thin sheets of acrylic and some acrylic shelf dividers because they got here fast from Amazon. So if, unlike me, you have any patience at all, you can probably get a nice piece of custom cut acrylic. If, like me, you have no patience or a bunch of random acrylic pieces around, go wild and just make sure that all your edges are covered with silicone so that it's watertight. I used specific silicone for aquariums because, again, it got here the fastest from Amazon and I have no patience. But you can use any aquarium safe silicone. Most are, and most will say that on the tube. This is what the silicone is designed for. It wants to waterproof your seams. Let it do its job and you'll be fine. This is going to be completely hidden, so it didn't matter to me at all what it looked like. The shelf dividers were really nice here because it helped hold the whole thing up while I put the silicone in to attach it to the aquarium. I siliconed every edge on both sides and probably thicker than I needed to. Even though the spray foam is also waterproof, I wanted this to be the absolute last defense against water leaking into the land side of the tank. It says on the container that all you need is 30 minutes before you can put it into water. I gave it an hour or so before the next step, not because I was being patient or overly cautious, but because I was hungry. So I made a sandwich and I watched the new episode of Survivor before coming back to it. Now I cut some foam to make a beach that I wanted to give the crabs kind of the ability to crawl up and down. We're gonna fly through this because as good as this idea seemed on paper, I really hated it when it went in. So I put it in and you'll see that, and then I pulled it out. But you know, you could do something like this if you wanted to and had more space. I just took up so much of the water section in this one because it's a terrarium that it wasn't worth it to me. Okay, here we go with the spray foam. I got the black pond specific spray foam. Again, got here same day from Home Depot. There are definitely a couple of different types that you can use. They'll say pond safe on them. Pretty easy to spray, but there's not a lot in one can. Here's where I decided to pull the foam out. I wanted to show you how easy it is to take the stuff out if you don't like it though. This wasn't fully dry, so it was harder than it had to be, and it was still pretty easy to do. So that's the really good news. Don't worry about experimenting with this stuff because it can all come out pretty easily with a scraper or a razor blade or even just your hands. Pro tip 1, do not touch the foam to try to rearrange it. Once you spray it while it's still wet, it will collapse and puddle like this. Once you spray it, you need to leave it alone, and then you can play with it after it's dried, and you'll get that poofy rock texture instead of this black puddle texture. Unless you want black puddle texture, in which case, prod at it and it will turn into a black puddle. Pro tip 2, before you start, shake the bottle. It says 1 minute, shake it till your arm gets tired. It really seems to flow a lot easier the more that you shake it, so it is worth it. Going vertical is a bit tough with this stuff. If I did it again, I would either spray it in layers and let it dry after each layer so it could fully expand, or I would turn the tank on its side so you're spraying the most volume on a flat surface. However, kind of by doing it all at once, I did get an interesting texture. So again, play, experiment, see what look you like. And here it is once it's dry and fully expanded. Keep spraying, add bits for ramps or where you think rocks should be. Play. You can always rip out pieces that you don't like. So again, experiment to your heart's content or until the bottle is empty. I wanted this right side to be more cave-like, so I just ripped a lot of it out with my hands once it was dry. This is super easy to do and gives it a really cool texture. If you get some on the side, it's almost too easy to take it off with a scraper. This goes for the silicone as well, comes off super easy. Again, be not afraid, just spray it everywhere that you think it's gonna be cool, clean up later, and it'll look great. Once I had it where I wanted it, it's time for a water test. This is the only time during the entire process that I was patient at all. I gave it the full 24 hours to make sure that there were no slow leaks, and it works. It holds water. And there you go. All done, scaped, planted, and filled with water. Now it's ready for the crabs. I hope this video gave you some ideas for your own project to have fun and make cool things. Thanks for watching.